Okay, we will call this regular meeting of the Nevada City Council to order Monday, June 13th, 2022 at 6:00 p.m. And as a reminder, the room microphones are not working, so we have to use our outside voices so the owl can hear us tonight. So with that, we will go ahead and call a roll call.
Brian Hanson. Barb Midman.
Here.
Dave Nielsen.
Here.
Jason Sampson.
Here.
Steve Skaggs.
Here.
Sandy Eric.
Here.
And Brian did notify us he was not going to make it this evening, which takes us to approval of the agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
And Dane and Steve. Seeing no discussion on the agenda, council please vote. Agenda is approved, takes us to the consent agenda. Any item may be removed for separate consideration.
Second.
Barb and Sandy, any discussion? Seeing none, council please vote. Okay, that is approved, which takes us to public forum, which is time to decide for comments from the public on topics of city business other than those listed on the agenda. No action may be taken. Do we have anyone here to speak in the public forum? Okay. Just a reminder, you have to speak up so the microphone can hear you tonight. It's the one in the middle here. It's this one. So just as long as you're loud, it'll pick you up.
So it's just me.
Yep.
Okay, I know Brian's not here. And he gave me a piece of paper, supposed to give me a piece of paper that, but again, that dump place. And he was telling me all about it and everything.
Yeah,
And-
he did give us the, are you talking about the petition that you?
Yeah, by partition I
Yep.
gave you. And, you know, that's the one I'm kind of voting for. I'm helping with them to get dump place. And he said, in Populous, there would be a dump place.
We're trying to find a place. We really are. And I think what Ryan was trying to talk to you about was he was trying to let you know that we're still, as a city, trying to figure out a spot, whether it's going to be south of town or, and right
Yeah.
now we can't utilize the dump that we have because of the construction that we have going on there.
Yeah, he said, he told me that somebody dig a big hole and you put the trees in there and they could rot them out or just burn them a little bit, but like I want to say, could we vote that, are you in favor of getting a dump place here in Nevada? Can we not vote?
Well, we can't vote because it's not on the agenda. So an item has to be on the agenda before we can take a formal vote.
It's
I think everyone's supportive of getting a dump place. There's just a lot of steps that have to occur
Yeah.
to figure out where to put it.
As long as you're on all favor, that's all I care about.
Yeah, and part of the problem is with the wastewater plant moving, that's where the old
Yeah.
dump is, but we can't use that one, and the new
No.
the new wastewater plant isn't ready. Because they're
Yeah.
doing construction on both ends.
Yeah,
So so really, I mean, we don't have a lot of places to dump even at the city level right now because of
Yeah.
the stuff that we have going on.
but you're in favor of getting that dump place sooner or later.
I am.
All of you?
I think we're all interested in, yeah.
Okay, that's all I
think
know.
it's a timing thing.
I know. That'd be great. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lee. Okay, is there anyone else here to speak in the public forum? Seeing none, we will close the public forum, move into old business. There's old business A, Central Business District Infrastructure Improvements Project. There's change order number 8 in the amount of $68,953.65.
Second.
Jason and Dane, discussion on that. Seeing none, council please vote. That is approved. It takes us to number 2, approved change order number 9 in the amount of $317,649.90.
Move to approve.
Steve and Barb. Any discussion? Seeing none, council please vote. That is approved. Takes us to number 3, approved pay request number 19 in the amount of $65,505.97.
Move to approve.
Second.
Sandy and Jason. Seeing no discussion, council, please vote. That is approved. Takes us to number 4, resolution number 84, 2021-2022, a resolution accepting the Central Business District Infrastructure Improvements Project as complete and release of retainage.
Move to approve.
Okay.
Steve and Barb.
What was the overall cost compared to what we thought it was gonna be?
He's asking Larry what the overall cost is compared to what we thought it was going to be.
What's the overall cost compared to what?
What initially,
Yeah,
How we do?
Extremely close. I know the bids, the original bid was 7,850,850, and I think the original bid was slightly over 8 million, the estimate. So, I mean, it's very close. The, with all the change orders, we're about 5.5% over the original bid amount, which is pretty reasonable considering the extra work that was done. You know, like the intersection at Fifth Street and Lincoln Highway and lots of other stuff. So I was very happy to see that it was no more than it was.
we didn't go all the way up to the end though, right?
What's that?
We didn't go all the way to end, we shorted it 1 block. Which the original plan was to go all the way to end
Oh, yes, right.
for the 7.8 or
That
whatever.
was based on estimates prior to the project. Yeah. It was originally 11 blocks, and we did reduce it to 10, stay within.
Oh, okay, all right.
any other discussion? Council, please vote. Okay, next is pay request number 20, and the amount of $414,362.56.
Approved.
Second. Barb and Dane. Any discussion on the pay request? Seeing none, council, please vote. Okay, that is approved. Takes us to D, ordinance number 1025, 2021, 2022. An ordinance amending the zoning map of the city of Nevada, Iowa by amending the zoning classification of the parcel of land owned by Carrie P. Martin at 1002 D Avenue, located within the corporate limits of the city of Nevada, Iowa, from LI Limited Industrial District to R2 Residential District, second reading.
Move to approve.
Second.
Dane and Jason. Seeing no discussion, council, please vote. Okay, that is approved. Takes us to item C, ordinance number 1026, 2021, 2022. An ordinance amending the zoning map of the city of Nevada, Iowa by amending the zoning classification of parcel of land owned by Michael L. Doty at 436 11th Street, located within the corporate limits of the city of Nevada, Iowa, from LI Limited Industrial District to R2 Residential District, second reading.
Move to approve.
Second.
Steve and Sandy. Okay, seeing no discussion, council, please vote. Okay, that is approved. Takes us to D, resolution number 85, 2021, 2022. A resolution to approve sub-grant agreement between the Iowa Economic Development Authority and City of Nevada for Camelot Downtown Housing Project.
Move to approve.
Second.
Dane and Sandy. Any discussion? Seeing none, council, please vote. That is approved. Takes us to E, approved changes to City Hall campus, park and parking lot rules and regulations.
Move to approve.
Barb and Dane, any discussion?
One editorial
in the tenants or responsible party, we just missed one of the CHCs next to the bottom. Yeah, that'd be.
And it also says no alcohol. It doesn't say like you can't request alcohol with council's approval, anything along those lines. Done that.
Yeah.
Multiple
Yeah,
times.
made that exception.
Well, and I guess Aaron's the ultimate authority, but council can always change policy as you wish, so I don't know if anything.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can make an exception to that. You also have a policy that you don't allow signs, but we frequently will allow the banners to go up, so. I mean, you could add something if you wanted that would say unless otherwise approved by city council. But you otherwise have that authority to do so.
If we want to put that in there, and then it looks like sometimes we're playing favorites if we don't approve them all.
Needs to be consistent with the other part.
The parks allow alcohol.
Just. William,
Alcohol in the other parts.
Some,
Store we do,
So-
North we do not.
I mean, you can't have it at Kiwanis, we release that property from the church, so we don't allow it there. But, you can have it at the pavilion, you can have it at York Park, you can have it at Mardine, you can have it at Cruff. You can have it if there's an event or there's youth present. So, if you don't do softball, you can have it, but you can't go out to major space.
Can't have it in the dugout.
You know, right?
All right. Well, I guess that's up to us. I don't know here. So. We know, we saw.
So Kiwanis is the only park that doesn't allow alcohol, is that what I heard?
Unless there's a benefit.
So really just, obviously, it's all city hall. It's a little bit-
Yeah, do we want to put some type of burden? Could be possible. I mean, right now, it just says it's not allowed,
We flood much nice now to,
but if people don't know that, a lot of people don't know what we're doing.
So maybe, motion to change the, to allow this, alcohol with permission.
What's the language in the other part? Or language and
I have to. I don't know what it was.
It's also like.
Aaron gave a good suggestion.
Yeah, Aaron suggested probably the
Aaron
best.
gave a good suggestion.
I think you could just put a comment and say unless otherwise allowed by city council. Or approved by city council.
Is that a motion?
I'll make a motion.
The motion is already out there by Barb and seconded by Dane, so if they'd like to amend their.
So do we need a motion to amend the document or?
Well, Barb could make the motion to amend her motion with the revision.
I amend my motion. I amend my motion with the revision as suggested. Aaron has it.
also, and I will, amend my second.
So we're good then. Further discussion on that? Okay, seeing none, council please vote. That is approved, takes us to item G for pay request. Sorry, approved pay request number 12 for wastewater treatment facility improvements, phase 2 from Williams Brothers Construction Incorporated, the amount of $992,431.81.
move to approve.
Second. Jason and Steve. Any discussion? Seeing none, council please vote. That is approved. Which now takes us to G, approved pay request number 4 for wastewater treatment facility improvements phase 3 from Boomerang Corporation, the amount of $190,846.65.
Move to approve.
Second. Jason and Dane. Any discussion? Seeing none, council please vote. Okay, that is approved. Takes us to H, approve pay request number 1 for Jordan Well number 4, plugging and demolition from the Northway Corporation, the amount of $24,555.60.
Move to approve.
Second.
Steve and Sandy. Seeing no discussion, council please vote. Okay, that is approved. Takes us to I, approve professional services agreement with HR Green for SRF sponsored project final design and construction administration and not to exceed $443,000.
Move to approve.
Second.
Barb and Dane. Discussion? Okay, seeing none, council please vote. That is approved. Takes us to new business A, discussion appropriate follow-up regarding contractor for removal of ash trees.
All right. You guys can review that at all?
Yeah.
I don't know if Joe wanted to speak or anything, but.
No, we just basically got 2 bids. We sent out, I think, four on that. So, Rod, who does our trees now, end up getting that bid. So, kind of here to see if we can get this process rolling. I get 3 calls a day.
So basically, we have about 70 ash trees that we really need to get taken down. It started a couple of years ago with the Emerald Ash Borer program. So that is something that we're going to do. Joe still has some money in his budget for this year that we were able to capitalize on that. We should be able to get a majority of the ash trees done with this budgeted amount for them. But hoping that we can get a lot of this completed before we have to go on our next set of dead trees in the right of way. Because there's, as Jeremy was pointing out today, we have quite a bit.
So is the plan just to do 36 of those this year then?
So the plan is actually to do whatever our 40,000 will get us, which we're hoping around 60 trees.
Okay. Yes. And that's stump too.
Yeah, that is
And
stump as well. So
Backfilling and.
the stump, the city typically doesn't do the stump. We have it in this agreement to do the Emerald Ash Borer because of the issues with it. So that is something that we'd like to do with it as well, even though we don't typically do it. And we did do it the last time we had that program.
Move to approve Brown Street stump service.
Second.
Okay, motion by Jason, second by Dane. Discussion?
Thank you, Joe.
Okay. Any other discussion? Council, please vote. That is approved. Takes us to new business B, approve resolution number 86, 2021-2022. Resolution approving the application of Cass Doty LLC to the Iowa Economic Development Authority Iowa Workforce Housing Tax Credit Program.
Move to approve.
Second.
Sandy and Dane. Any discussion? Seeing none, council please vote. Okay, that is approved. Takes us to reports, starting with city administrator.
All right, so it had a pretty busy couple of last couple of weeks, met with the board of supervisors to extend an offer for NEDC to sit on that board. Several wastewater meetings pertaining to agreements as well as some of the phases that we're going through. So the lift station as well as the trunk sewer. Pizza Palooza recap, follow up on things we can do better for next year. The Lincoln Highway Days meeting, also had a water plant tour for we had a group from Tanzania that was in this last week touring a whole bunch of different water sites across the United States, and they happen to be in Nevada, so they're able to come check out our water plant here in town, so that was pretty exciting to do that on Friday. And then last week, a bunch of us went to Washington DC and got to speak with some senators and US representatives, and I thought that went very well, and it's definitely good seeing up there, so. But other than that, I don't have any.
Council, anything for Jordan? Okay, for my report, the biggest thing to report on would just be the trip to Washington DC. Of course, we talked about rural water like always. It was the first time we spoke about it with Congressman Feenstra. I think his background having been a city administrator, I think it clicked a little more, and maybe with some others. So he said, you know, thinks it sounds like the only good solution is federal legislation, which is about what we've discovered over all these trips. So granted, passing bills in DC isn't exactly easy, but at least I think he gets the issue pretty well. We also brought up the train issue that we continue to have. It was a theme across this Ames, Nevada, and Boone were all there. So all three of us have the same train issues. And we talked quite a bit about that. I had been brainstorming with Supervisor Basil about, you know, with 2022, maybe there's smart technology that can help us figure out where crossings are blocked and route traffic and emergency responders. And then we sat in a presentation of a group doing grants for smart cities, and they said one good use case is with trains. So we have their business card. We'll be talking to see if we can come up with some sort of project here regarding that. Another take-home message is I think there's a lot of federal funds available now that maybe even weren't before. That are available, so to better take advantage of that. When we have projects, we need to be sending those to the staff in the congressional offices to see if they can figure out if there's a program in any of the agencies that might qualify. And then we also spoke with some members in the delegation, our group out there, about some other housing projects. So hopefully Brenda will have some good news for us before the end of the month with other workforce housing projects. So overall, very productive trip it had been. 3 years, I guess, since we would have done that. And I think a lot of what you get out of it is really learning some of the commonalities that all of us are facing and get some good ideas, one from each other, because when we see each other locally, you're running from one thing to the next, so you get to really work on that. But then hearing from all the agencies, I think valuable. There's some programs I'll be getting, you know, they're doing a train the trainer about how residents can take advantage of broadband credits from a federal program. And so with that, maybe the library could be a trained entity in the city to help residents sign up for those credits. So I think there's lots of things like that we can bring information back that we don't even know exists, just by going out there and listening to them. So it was a very well done visit. Council, anything for me? Council reports.
Story County Freedom Run is happening on June 25th. Of note is the fact that Story County Freedom Flight is actually sending a flight on August 27th for veterans. So it's the first time in quite a while that they've done one of those. So the proceeds from this event are going to be split between our Nevada Legion and Story County Freedom Flight. But I thought that was a pretty cool thing that they're doing that again. But yeah, that'll be June 25th at Score Park, and I was talking to Tim earlier as far as Parks and Rec and all that.
Other council reports.
Well, I would just play up the whole discussion about what the government can do or programs you might not be aware of. I had a meeting last week with Empower Rural Iowa, and those grants are about to roll out, and this would really be directed to Brenda and Henry, but under that banner, this year there will be something called Rural Enrichment Dollars for such things as signage and public art and some of the amenity kinds of things that we typically haven't had money for. And up to $20,000 grants, those are grants, so it's kind of exciting. And there will be other programs with that too. This pilot's where my Henry have now, so.
The Camelot Theater Foundation is meeting with the Nevada Foundation this week to see how we can collaborate on some fundraising activities. They're working on getting bids for facade repairs right now, so we can get some of that buttoned up before winter. They're Blackstone Grill fundraiser is still going on. Last week, Leadership Nevada had a great session with Main Street Nevada, and they toured some of the projects in the downtown district and talked about volunteerism and how important that is to our community. That was a great session. There's a lunch and learn tomorrow at noon at the Main Street Nevada office about all things Google Drive. So if you ever wonder, head on over. And then there's also a mix and mingle for the new South Story Bank Thursday. I think it's from 4:30 to 6. So see you there.
Other council reports.
I want to compliment the community band. So I know they had their first performance last week. And it's enjoyable despite the rain. They had a lot of people, and I thought it was a good event for the city hall.
Okay, then we'll go to staff reports, and the microphone's broken, so use your outdoor voices. So, Ryan?
I'm good. Business as usual.
Okay, NEDC?
Good, I'm excited about the workforce housing tax credit applications that are coming in. One done and hopefully another before the end of the month.
Very good, thanks, Brenda.
I just had to ask Reese, and we're gonna get that going.
There you go. And that's Phil. Thanks, Phil. You're amazing.
Okay, Tim?
I don't have anything to add outside of my report unless you have any questions.
Andrew?
The only thing I have is we're doing some community events starting at the end of this month. The first one's on the 29th. It's the chocolate walk, so we'll have free food. Chalk out there. I think it's Bounce House. Yeah. We'll be there too, so people can bring their families out. It'll be a good time. Free hot dogs. Can be free food. And then we got Wayne is still at the academy doing well. And he'll be done in August. Is there any questions for me?
Andrew? Okay, Aaron? Okay, Karen?
I'm here. We're just watching Stand here, rapid budget and training Aaron and normal stuff.
Larry?
You got my project update, and I think the only other thing I'd like to say is that the downtown project that you accepted this evening, I was just thinking about the first detailed estimate that I did on that goes back to 2012. So it's a long time in coming, and probably one that I didn't think would ever get done. So I commend all of you for the effort to build a great project, and really did. So anyway, it's pretty cool. That, got any questions, I'd be glad to answer.
Larry, you got any time frame on the S14 closing for the tracks?
We do not. We do not. We're still trying to get a response out of the railroad in regard to what, if anything, we have to do to get that sanitary sewer under there. We're still under the presumption the contract will do it during the time frame that it originally indicated, August to September. So we're pushing them. My email to them will be to say, if I don't get a response from you, I presume everything is fine and we will proceed with installing the sanitary sewer.
Okay.
It's been 3 weeks and it's getting a little bit frustrating. We'll push it.
Okay.
Karen?
I'm good too.
Okay, any other council reports before the closed session? Okay, so that is closed session pursuant to Iowa Code Section 21.51I or J to discuss purchase or sale of particular real estate only where premature disclosure to be reasonably expected to increase the price the governmental body would have to pay for that property.
Move to go to closed session.
Second. Jason and Dane. Okay. So we'll call for a voice vote.
Sampson,
Aye.
Nielsen,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Eric, Mitten. Aye.
Okay, and that puts us in the closed session, and the Zoom here will be paused, disconnected.